Welcome to the first O'Colly Film Room of 2021. Chris Becker, joined me here by Sudeep, Tumma. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to break down the Oklahoma State versus Missouri State game. We have 3 plays picked out from that game. Before each one, for those of you who are new, I'll quickly run down what happens in the play, and then we'll turn it over to Sudeep, and he'll go very, very in-depth and break it down player by player, scheme by scheme, position group by position group on both sides of the ball, what happened in that play and what made it successful. So this first play, it's going to be early in the first quarter, 9:53 left, second and goal play for OSU. I believe this is their first drive of the game. Shane Ellingworth going to be in the I formation. Tay Martin's the only receiver split up to the top of your screen. Shane's going to drop back and find Tay on a corner route to the middle of the end zone. Draws a PI call, and OSU will quickly go up 7-0. So I'll turn over to Sudeep now. Sudeep, what made this play so successful?
So what you got here is you've got actually an RPO where they're going to either run a power run up the middle. You got the heavy formation, which OSU doesn't run too much. But what you see at the top of the screen is you got Tay Martin going one-on-one. No one's there between. And we've seen this sight before with Tylan Wallace so many times. So what you want to look at first is Tay Martin, one-on-one, right? He's got a little bit of space, a little bit off coverage, and then watch him. When the ball snapped, he takes... Well, first off, watch the footwork. Right off the release, obviously there's no press coverage here, but watch his feet. He gets just a step, and then he gets right to the outside. And then when the ball's up in the air, watch Tay get right to that corner, right, on the fade route. He gets there, and watch where that ball's placed, perfectly on the outside. You got him. First off, you got a physical guy who can go up and catch it in contact. But when Shane Ellingworth puts the ball right in that corner, you got Tay Martin. Watch the body control and watch the ball skills. He's not leaning. He's not falling away. He doesn't look unstable. He's just going right up there and he's snatching that ball there because that's what he does so well. He high points the ball, and like you said, he's pass interfered as well, but still goes and gets the catch. But watch the back end, Shane Ellingworth. This is one of the things that I think most people won't realize. When we talk about poise and pocket presence, pocket awareness with a guy like Shane Ellingworth, this is what we're talking about. Watch Shane when he drops back. First off, he knows exactly where this ball's going. He decides on the RPO he's going to pass it to Tay Martin. He steps back, pass it. But watch this. He's about to get smacked, but he stays right in the pocket, and he's ready to take that hit, and he delivers it perfectly. This is ball placement, elite ball placement. It looks easy, right? It looks like a pitch and catch. This is one of the hardest passes in football, one of the hardest things in sports. But he throws it up there, and he gets that ball right there. And touchdown.
Yep. Yeah, that's something you didn't touch on. Missouri State also loaded the box there, so it was very much sold. Missouri State almost thought they fully sold out on the run, and Shane just decided, like you said before, made the throw, made the catch, a perfect pitch and catch to Tay Martin for that touchdown, and it's quick 7-0 game.
And that's one of the things, right? When you have that one-on-one matchup, you obviously have a lot of guys you can possibly run the ball. That's why you have those heavy formations. But that's one of the things you give up if you're Missouri State, and you have if you're OSU. You have that one-on-one matchup. A lot of times when cornerbacks are playing press coverage, they're not able to get ample space, and the wide receiver struggles to get open or even to get proper body leverage. But here, Tay Martin with no even need to have a getting release off of press coverage because of that. But he just displays great footwork, and he gets right up there for that catch.
Right, in the second play, we're going to see Missouri State here still in the first quarter. I believe it was a drive right after OSU's touchdown. They have a 3rd and 2. They're gonna hand the ball off, and Malcolm Rodriguez is gonna blow this play up before it even gets back to the line of scrimmage. Sudeep, break this down.
Yeah, so you're going to watch the run to the left, to the play side. But watch Malcolm Rodriguez, right? He's a linebacker, 225? It's good weight. He looks strong, but he is undersized for a linebacker. And obviously he's too small or too big to be a safety, but he's too small to be a linebacker. But he's got such great strength and great hands. And you watch him here, right off First of all, he gets into 2 linemen, and he just jacks his way right in there because of his pure strength and body leverage. Watch him get under the pads and go, right? Watch him. He's right there, number 20, in the right corner of the OSU's defense, if you will, and he gets right in there and just jacks his way in, and there. That's the part I want to highlight. With a guy like Malcolm Rodriguez, what makes him special is not only his ability to shoot gaps at his undersized leverage, but he also has the athleticism to do it, he has the strength to do it, and he has the strength to do this. Watch him. Stops him right in his tracks. This is 3rd and 2. Situational awareness, right? Let's watch at the backside of this play. If he gives even just, a yard or two and lets the guy stumble forward, then that becomes a first down, and the tackle is almost pointless. First off, watch him, right? Look at this strength. To get right between 2 offensive linemen, gets right in there, breaks through, and he's right there, and he stops him right in his tracks. And that's what Malcolm Rodriguez does so well. When he's got you there, he's gonna get you down, and he's gonna bring you down in your spot.
Right. Something that makes his tackling so perfect. You can is you can pause it right there if you want. The tackling is so perfect. He wraps him up perfectly. The wrestling background, I think, is what, and the strength too.
Right.
That wrestling background, he's used to grabbing people and throwing them to the ground. So, and he's used to getting through people and having to power through. So when he's faced with 300-pound guys right here, if you can see, he's right in the middle. He's pancaked between two 300-plus-pound linemen, and he shreds them like they're 9-pound children.
Yeah, watch his arms.
And he just pushes them right behind him, and then before the play even gets started, it's over.
He gets off blocks so well. His block shedding is great, and that's something that's really special about him. That's what makes him such a great run defender, that he's just able to do that, and he's got great range and pursuit speed. We know about the speed as a safety, but that's why he's just such a devastating linebacker at the college level.
Right, and this is why Missouri State really had no success in the run game. Yeah, they ran for 102 yards, I believe, but the OSU's linebacker. This is also in that play. It's one of the rare times you see OSU line up with 3 linebackers actually playing where linebackers are supposed to. You had Brock Martin, Devin Harper, and Malcolm all lined up in the backside of the blocks. So this next play, OSU late in the fourth quarter, or early in the fourth quarter this time, up 23-9, has a 2nd and 10. They're going to hand the ball off to LD from the pistol formation, and it does not go well.
Yeah, we talked about some of the good plays and why they played well in this game. That's why they won the game. Guys that were crucial, but this is the bad, right? The run game. We heard Mike Gundy, Casey Dunn, everyone talk about how much of a struggle that was for OSU, and here you're going to see a big reason why. Here you're going to see zone run to the left. It's an outside zone run, and the unique thing here, and this is why I also give credit to Missouri State. Watch number 93 for Missouri State. He's running a stunt play, and he goes around 2 of his guys. And there's a lot going on. You're going to see, first off, watch Missouri State's backline, right? That number 93, actually, no, before you do that, look at number 94 and number 10. They're running almost like a slanted blitz toward the play side. So they're going that way, and you see them go this way, right? And what that does is that occupies, because, all right, let's step back for a second. You see on the third side from Godlewski, Sills, and Etienne, I believe, all 3 of those linemen, they're going up against 4 Missouri State defenders. So as this is a zone running scheme and everyone covers the zone, it's going to be on Cole Birmingham to cover 94, right? As they start going that way. And you see it, right? He's on 94. So theoretically, you have 3-on-3, right? So Birmingham, 67, the right guard, gets blocks on 94. Do the math, 3-on-3, right? But here's what happens. Tyler Miltz, the linebacker, he crashes right into Josh Sills, and Godlewski, who's already assuming he's going to pick up Miltz, isn't going to make that process in, a split second. So what does Godlewski do? He goes right into Miltz. All of a sudden, you have 2 gigantic linemen on 1 smaller linebacker. And what does that do? A perfectly placed stunt for number 93, Tyler Johnson, to get right into that backfield.
Yeah.
And again, this is some of it where Missouri State did it very well. But some of it where Birmingham has to, overcompensate and step there because he's already clipping on a 94, and suddenly there's a wide open gap. And this is just some of the issues. And we saw some of it where guys just missed tackles, missed pulling assignments. There were so many different things. But this is I think a good mix of seeing how OSU's offensive line misses blocks, and there was just penetration. So again, don't blame the running backs. Watch this offensive line and see what happened. But also credit to Missouri State for doing things like this.
Yeah, big credit to Eric Johnson on that play for he sold the stunt really well. He acted like he was going to draw back and not really blitz yet, and then all of a sudden there he is. And he, as you can see if you keep going through the play, he's going to miss that. He's going to hit LD in the back, but miss the tackle. But then that slows LD down enough to where all these guys, their whole rest of their defense is on top of LD, and there's nothing that OSU can do there.
And that's one of the great things Missouri State as well. Gang tackling. They were a great tackling unit. They showed great speed, sideline to sideline. They got to guys. They had multiple guys coming after you. I think that's one of the things that wasn't really talked about. Missouri State, even when they had one guy get penetration, even if, the running back could make that guy miss, they had all their guys right after. They had all these Missouri State defenders coming after your one ball carrier, and that's one of the things that happened so deadly. You watch the outside zone, right? They're all going that way. So on this type of play, what you do as a running back on zone running scheme to that weak side of the defense, right? Weak side of the offense, the left side. LD Brown's running there, and he's looking for the hole. He's either going to cut it back, he's going to cut it forward, he's going to go all the way outside, wherever he sees the hole. Here, there's a giant hole. Yeah, one that a Missouri State defender is running right through. There's no chance, right? And then look, watch Etienne.
Yeah.
Etienne's even, he's starting to, right, he can't hold that block completely.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Etienne and number 15, I'm not sure the name, but took up.
Kevin Ellis, yep.
Yeah, Kevin Ellis, one of the better D linemen for Missouri State. They filled up the outside so LD could not cut all the way that way, so he had to cut back inside, and there was standing big number 93 Eric
Exactly.
Johnson.
If there's no Stunt here, then Eric Johnson glues onto Sills, Godlewski gets Milt, and there might be a hole between Birmingham and Godlewski, but there's nothing because Eric Johnson's right there. And all of a sudden, you have no hole. LD's stuck. He tries to make a move. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Good. That's all. I mean, we saw a lot. We only picked 3, but there were a lot of these plays that we could have broke down. If Sudeep and I wanted to, we could have broke down the entire game, and but that would take all day, and no one wants to watch that. So, these 3 plays are probably the three of the plays that where the stuff was reoccurring throughout the game, and it was a whole bunch of that same stuff all throughout. And no, this play was probably the best implication of the OSU offense of just they couldn't run the ball. It ended up they didn't score again. Missouri State scored one more touchdown, but this is pretty much the end of the game right here. We could go and break down the last play of the game or the last 2 drives from Missouri State where they had the chance to tie it up, but this was really the end of the game right here. Missouri State scored one more touchdown. There's some surprises, but this was probably the last play where we could really say that something new occurred.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, on some of them, it's a lot more simpler than this, where Taylor Matarko or Caleb Etienne just couldn't hold a block, or they're pulling 2 guards in a counterplay, a guard and a tackle on the left side. They're pulling them to the right side, and they just don't hit a guy or they miss a block, and suddenly a Missouri State defender just running wide open, and you saw a lot of that. And even if the running back would make a guy miss, you already have 2 or 3 more Missouri State defenders there, and that was really the issue with the run game, right? Again, combination of this front and combination of the line, but it really gave these running backs no chance.
Right, and the OSU's pass game was pretty good, like we showed you guys in the first play. There was a lot of stuff like that. A lot of good execution, but also some bad execution from Shane and from the offensive line and from the receivers. Just some missed timing, a couple missed blocks. They only had 4 QB hurries and 1 sack, but there's still a couple missed pass blocking blocks and good stuff. But all in all, OSU played okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't pretty. It was a pretty ugly game, but they got away with the win 23-13 against Missouri State. We'll be back in action against Tulsa at 11 a.m. This Saturday in Boone Pickens Stadium. So, you have any closing remarks?
No, I mean, this was just, this was one of those games where you were supposed to learn a lot, and I don't think anyone anticipated the run game being like this. But we did see some other things and things that we'll break down in the future.
Right, we did learn a lot. It wasn't a good thing to learn that the run game might be in danger this year, but needs some fixing up, needs some new nuts and bolts. But I think nothing to be really worried about. We'll be back next week with breaking down the Tulsa film after that game had happened. So thank you guys for joining us. This is the first preview film room for the O'Colly Sports Football film room. Chris Becker, Sudeep, Tumma. Thank you guys for joining in.